Welcome back, Sober Family. This is another episode of Recovery Talk brought to you by Pro Recovery Power. As always, I'm your host. I hope you guys are having a good weekend. It is the 4th of July weekend. For those of you who are newly sober, trying to get sober, I would suggest you have a plan. Have a plan. Most people don't plan to fail. They just fail to plan. So thank you guys so much. I just want to take this time out to express some gratitude to everybody. You guys know who you are. This is too long of a list to name everybody. But you guys know who you are. Thank you guys so much for all of you guys' support, all of you guys' love, all you guys' prayers. It means a lot to me and my wife. We really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for all that you guys do to help PRP and help move this vision forward, along with us. So thank you so much. Now, today I'm going live with a friend of mine. His name is Terry. What's up, guys? What's up, Chris? Hey, I never do this. I keep forgetting. What's up, Jim? But anyways, guys, so I'm going live with Terry. I'm not going to tell his story for him. I'm going to get him on here. Oh, here he goes. And then I'll let him tell his story. Hey, Jim, nice hula hooping, by the way. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's backwards, the camera.
Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry about that.
There it is. What's up, brother? How's it going?
What's good, man? How you doing?
Good. Right on, man. For those of you guys who don't know, so we just Pro Recovery Power. We just started doing panels. Andrew, you guys, a lot of you guys know him, brother Andrew. He came out to speak. He was my speaker last night, and that's actually where I met Terry. And we kind of, chopped it up last night about him going live today, and he agreed. So here we are. Here we are. So yeah, man, it was really good to meet you last night. You're one of the very few people I meet first, and then we go live.
Sure.
But anyways, before we get started, and I kind of give you the floor to tell your story, I'll just ask you a few questions, Terry. The first question is, how long have you been sober?
I've been sober since October 7th of 2020.
All right, bro. Congratulations. And where are you from?
I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
All right, ATL. All right. And last one is, what was your choice in drink and or drug?
I'm more of an upper person, but I'm addicted to more. It's addicted to how much I can get of anything. If I enjoy it, I like it.
Mm-hmm. Anything to alter the mind, huh?
Yeah.
I was about that too. Like my main drug of choice was cocaine and alcohol, but if you have whatever you got it. Boom. Let me get some. Yeah. Okay. So real quick before we get into your story, again, I just want to thank everybody, all you guys, all the supporters out there for PRP. If you guys would be so kind, go to our website, prorecoverypower.com. On the bottom right-hand corner, if you're on your computer, you'll see it. It'll say questionnaire. If you're on your phone, it's like a little orange circle. Click on that. That is a questionnaire that'll help us track our success and also measure our success and track, the people that we're helping in the community. But most importantly, we can see how we can improve, and also on Wednesday nights, we have a recovery meeting, the Pro Recovery Power Hour. It's through Zoom. It's Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And last but not least, I just mentioned this, we started doing panels now, physically going in. COVID is kind of diminishing a little bit. So we're going into, we're trying to get into more treatment centers and places that allow us to come in and carry the message that recovery is possible. So if you guys are interested, anybody in the Inland Empire area or LA County, Orange County, if you guys are willing to drive, it's gonna be in Riverside. It's every Friday night at 7 p.m. Please reach out to me, and then we can kind of get you on the calendar there. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. So Terry, at this time, bro, I'll give you the floor to tell us your story.
All right. My name is Terry Walker. I am an alcoholic and addict. 26 years of age. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I have a 6-year-old daughter. I am a Scorpio. I'm currently in a relationship. I'm in between jobs right now. I'm in between the working for a temp agency job, aka get well job, and finding a permanent position somewhere at an establishment, and developing a career, something that I could do for the rest of my life. Um, I got sober through Alcoholics Anonymous. I got sober through Narcotics Anonymous, and I got sober through life just kicking my ass. Just having to deal with the cards that I was dealt. Uh, okay, my story starts from a young age. My mom, she was addicted to crack cocaine. Um, I can remember being about 7 or 6 and just walking my siblings from the bus stop and seeing my mom hop out of like just weird and strange cars, with just a nightgown on, looking all smoked out and stuff. And as I got older, her disease progressed, and it just became to a point where she decided to go to rehab. She came to rehab out here in California, actually. Got sober, got clean, went back to Georgia, and got a job at the post office. And you know, even though she cleaned her life up, she did make mistakes, that she didn't properly rectify as far as her health when it comes to these chemicals that we indulge in and that we, um, and she would always tell me, you know, the things that she did in her past, they affect her now, and I didn't really get that until, she passed away due to congestive heart failure, um, and over the time it's still taking me time to accept it, to be completely transparent with you. But
Mhm.
like that's like one of the main reasons why I choose to, drug and choose to use. I'm in California right now, and obviously I wasn't born here, so I flew out here on the 4th of February in 2018 for a Super Bowl party, man. And I got into a fight, rubbed the wrong shoulders, ran into a couple of enemy gangs, and ended up catching a charge, man. Assault with a deadly weapon. I went to prison for 2 years out here. And of course, with me being from Atlanta, I didn't have anywhere to parole when I got out here. So I just gave them a zip code. The zip code ended up being the Compton zip code. And now I gotta go to Compton every week to see my parole officer where, his gang members waiting on me outside of the train station, his gang members at my parole office, and that cycle just became my lifestyle for maybe like a year and a half until I heard about this place called Orange County. Um, I wasn't really hip to it. Uh, when I hear about California, all I hear about is Los Angeles and Beverly Hills and Hollywood.
Mhm.
These landmark things. Like Orange County was just, they actually call it the Orange Curtain.
Mhm.
Because you actually have to search for it, dude. It's very secular and secluded. Um, so yeah, I ended up coming out here, and it's completely different from where I'm from, dude. Like I'm from Atlanta, where it's all black, and out here it's like a melting pot, basically. So I learned how to program with everybody, man, and I bumped my head a few times out here in Orange County too. Just getting comfortable and complacent. That I'm no longer living in a war zone. You know, like to not be in a war zone and to not feel like the target was just enough for me. At a certain point, but once my environment changed, that's when my behaviors had to change.
Mhm.
Because I brought those same behaviors, from the streets into a different type of environment, and you know, it was either my way or the highway. So I had to really change my thinking and learn how
Mhm.
to be tolerant, very tolerant of other people, especially their viewpoints,
Yeah.
my shortcomings as well as other people's shortcomings, my
Mhm.
character defects as well as other people's character defects, man. Um, that's pretty much my sobriety now. So yeah, dude, PCP, methamphetamines, fentanyl, cocaine, heroin, uh, any type of alcohol, whippets,
Mhm.
um, Nas cans, the nitro balloons, anything that you can think of, you know what I mean? Like, I've tried it, dude, and, right now, I have God in my life, I have a beautiful, educated, hardworking woman in my life with a gorgeous, dynamic daughter, that support me in every endeavor. So, right now I don't need a drug. I don't need a drink.
Mhm.
I need family, and it's okay to need family, man, because, being out here from Atlanta, I've been feeling alone for a long time, bro.
Mhm.
Especially leaving the gang, dude, like, because that was all I had, especially being out here. and that was like Alcoholics Anonymous and recovery. They're my gang, you know.
Yeah.
I might say that to a lot of people, and they may fly over their head, but like I'm literally dependent on you guys. You know, my sobriety is, and how I stay sober, dude, is just constant thought of others. You know, donating my hours to fellow people who suffer like me, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and just really, really listening, not to reply, but like just to understand,
Mm-hmm.
and wanting to understand instead of being understood.
Yeah.
You
Hey,
know,
bro, you sound like
understand.
Andrew. You sound like some Andrew right now. Oh,
Yeah, bro.
yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. And like I was reading some of the questions that you were thinking about asking me and stuff, man. I really like them. So if
Yeah.
you wanted to just shoot, you know, you can.
Yeah, no, we'll get to that, bro, for sure. There's a couple things I wanted to kind of touch on that you just spoke about. One of them was accepting the viewpoints of others. That's a big one, bro. That's
Yeah,
huge because something that I've learned about addiction and something that I've come to believe is that addiction stems from selfishness and self-centeredness. Like, I don't know another drug addict or alcoholic that says otherwise. Like me personally, I never met somebody like that. It's something
yeah,
that we all can agree on, basically. And
yeah.
it's amazing. Active in addiction, like, if you do not agree with me, if I cannot, I don't even want to understand your point of view, first of all. But even if I try to, I just gonna push back, fight on it, and I don't even like be a friend or anybody, and they even call me, and you know what I mean, stuff like that. And but it's amazing how got into recovery, and then this entire psychic change happened to me, and everything, my perception, my way of thinking, everything changed. And today, like, we can disagree and still be friends. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't
Sir.
do that. I was incapable of doing that because I want you to understand me. Today, I think it's more important to understand than to be understood. Kind of basically what you just said earlier. That's such a big one. Like, acceptance. Period. Is a big deal. Um, Something else, bro. You mentioned that it really hit home for me. And I'm so sorry, man, about the loss of your mom. Oh yeah, Charlie B, the disease of me. Yeah, there we go. That's one of my buddies that I got sober with. We just said that. But anyway, I can relate. Like, how long ago did your mom pass away?
She passed away September 1st, 2016.
Okay.
So, you know, coming up on 5 years, 4 years ago.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. My mom, she passed away like a few months ago. She passed away on March 16th
I'm
of
sorry to
this
hear that,
of
bro.
this year.
Sorry to hear that, bro.
Yeah. Thank you. Like when I really think about her now, like right now, I can feel it in me. I can feel it. But like throughout my days, like as time went on, like immediately I couldn't look at pictures of her or videos for a couple months. I couldn't do that. I just would just start crying, and I just start and it was tough, man. Like I created a post when I was going through this. I was thinking, man, I have an opportunity to share with somebody else that will go through the same exact thing I'm going through with the loss of my mom, and how I can be of service to them and help them, encourage them. So I created a post. I sat down, I put my thoughts on paper, and I put it, boom, and I posted. It's on my personal page though. It's about going through loss, sober,
Yeah,
there was 10 things that I did that to help me, get through the process of grief, bereavement, and also staying sober through that whole thing. Because that would have been like a huge like if I wasn't sober, my mom's death probably would have killed me. I'm pretty certain that it would have. I would have drank myself to death on accident or on purpose. Probably would have happened, or I would have overdosed or something along those lines.
yeah,
But like, it sounds like we all got sober basically in the same fellowship, so we speak the same language, and they taught me, hey, we suit up, we show up, no matter what. My mom died on a Tuesday. My pro recovery power meeting is on Wednesday. We suit up, we show up, like no matter what,
for
because
sure.
I could have just, the thoughts came about like, pity me, poor me, my mom just died. People gonna understand if I don't have the meaning. But what about the brand new person that just heard about it, that needed to be there? What about them? those were the thoughts I thought about more so than any other thoughts, and that's why I showed up. Of course, I show up for me first, but more so, what gets me out of me is thinking about other
Yeah.
people. Really thinking about other people and like how I can be of service to them. How can I help them? I lived the life of me not too long, man. That's just a miserable way to live. Just use the word I as much as you can. Just doing that, I mean, you're gonna have a pretty crappy life. Um,
For sure.
but that's something that I can definitely relate to you on. Is because I never. It was sudden. My mom's death was sudden. It wasn't like. So this is what happened. It was on a Monday. Because of COVID, nobody could go see my mom. My dad, God made it possible for my dad to actually go down there, and because we knew my brother's mother-in-law knew like the head director doctor at Kaiser that she was at, so my dad got in touch with her. She made an exception, and but my dad was only allowed to be there for like 15 minutes. My dad stayed there for every day for weeks, for like 4 hours. He would stay there, with my mom, and you know, it's pretty like I'm starting to like now all these memories and emotions coming back now. But it was my mom. I mean, God made it a way to where my dad was be able to be with her. So the doctor on Monday, the doctor told my dad, look, based off this, we did all this stuff, da 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 da. Your wife has about 9 months to live. That happened Monday. Tuesday, boom, she died already. And we're like, what? It was a shock. Like none of us, my brother, my sister, my dad, especially my mom. She wanted to live. That's why. But it's amazing. Like my mom not being here had such a profound effect on our family. Like with her gone, she is more effective on us as a family now that she's not here anymore. It's amazing how that works. I mean, of course, the human side of me. Oh, I mean, I love my mom. I wish she was still here. I miss her. She's not gonna see my son grow up, and the rest of the kids that we have, and all these things. But on the other hand, man, no more pain, no more suffering. My mom, she had cancer. Had all kind of cancer spreading, this and that. All this stuff, and and she passed away as a result of that. Because she had cancer like I don't know, like 3 times in her whole life, and she had about I don't know 13 surgeries in her whole life too, and she never complained not one time about anything. She wasn't a complainer at all, but all these things, it's a direct result, in my opinion, of recovery. Like my whole life changed by taking suggestions and following directions. The two things I hated to do with a passion was just so happened was the two things that was going to change my life. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my gosh, really? Like, if I would have done this years ago, my life probably would have turned out different. However, if I could go back and change my life, I wouldn't change anything. Because I definitely wouldn't have met my wife. I would not have my son I have today. I would not have the relationships I have with my sober brothers and sisters. And I wouldn't have this desire to grow along spiritual lines. The book talks about it. We got a daily reprieve contingent on the maintenance of our spiritual condition. Growing spiritually would not be a priority for me. But because my life depends on it, bam, it is a priority. You know what I mean? So yeah, bro. So, but but thanks, man, for jumping on here. I know it's kind of last minute. We just talked about it last night, but I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you, sharing and everything. So, okay, now we can get into these questions, bro. So, the first question I want to ask you is, what was the hardest part about early recovery for you?
The hardest part about early recovery for me was believing that I could actually become a better person. I hear a lot of people say that a thief is a thief, a liar is a liar, a cheater is a cheater. And I lived along those lines my whole life, dude.
Yeah.
So like, the game banger is a game banger, right?
Right.
He doesn't have to be that if he doesn't want to,
Yeah.
But you just have to make necessary steps, and for me, I just have to execute. I have to get a sponsor for real and do everything he asked me to do. So that was the hardest part about early recovery for me, probably just sponsorship and believing that it could work.
Yeah, bro, you said something just now that I wrote down, and it was the word execute. Execute. See, if any one of us identify as a drug addict or an alcoholic, this is something we're not estranged to. We know how to take action. We know how to execute. We know how to keep calling the drug dealer. We know how to push our body to the limit. We know how to steal. We know how to take action. Like that's not a problem for us. You know what I mean? But then, like you said, like the sponsorship part was difficult. The thing about executing or taking action is easy, but it's usually when it's something that we really want. You know what I mean? It's easy. But like something like in early recovery, like, you know, sounds like you could relate to that, where, you know, I'm like, I don't want nobody tell me what to do. I don't take suggestions. I don't follow directions. You tell me go left, I'm gonna go right. I promise you, I'm gonna go right. You know, because in my mind, I know everything. Like I'm like, you guys don't know, you guys know what you're talking about. You know, I know everything. But it's amazing how my best thinking got me into the rooms of recovery. You know what I mean? My best thinking got me there. You know, but okay. Let's see. Next question, bro. You mentioned that you have kids, or you have a daughter, right?
I have one 6-year-old daughter. Her name is Giselle. She's in Atlanta, but I'm currently, I guess you could say, I'm in like a companionship or a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And she has a 7-year-old daughter,
Okay.
and like best friends, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
kind of have like 2 girls, well, 3 girls,
Okay.
really, consider my girls. So
Yeah, that's
she
right.
could be a kid sometimes.
That's right. That's right. Go ask Lonnie Boy. We call that Hanai.
Yeah.
Hanai. Go ask him about that
Yes,
later.
sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, how is your relationship? You know, with them now since being in recovery?
Um, I can say like it's more organic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's super organic, man. Like especially when I talk to my daughter, dude. You know, when I was younger and I had my daughter, I was just like stuck in this mindset. Like, okay, you have to correct her when she's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Every single time she makes a mistake, you
Yeah.
know, and that's not true. You know, because I don't want to be critical of my daughter.
Right.
You know, to a point where she becomes rebellious. Correct.
Uh-huh.
So, like I get on her level when I talk to her because my daughter looks at me like, you know, like a superhero kind of, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah. Role
Even though
model.
we do have this distance between us, you know, like she asks me for things and I make them happen, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and that's really like that's where that comes from. But
Yeah.
like just my interactions with my girl's daughter, it's just cool, dude. Like I can be a kid again, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And still have this sense of responsibility about myself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As far as like my girl, I told her when we like really just got serious, man. You know, I don't want to use drugs. I don't want to use alcohol because that takes away from how much of me I can give to you. You know,
Right.
and
Yeah.
if you want to completely give yourself to me, then I have to completely give myself to you
Right.
because you know, this American society kind of has it screwed up. Where I'm from Georgia. I'm from the South. The men we nurture the women. You know, it's our job to take care of them and to let them be able to, you know, just feel how they want to feel and express themselves. And that's how I treat my girl. That's how I
Mm-hmm.
treat my daughters. That's how I treat every woman in my life. Well, not every woman, but I try to, you know, to the best of my ability
Right.
to. But yeah, my relationships with my kids, dude, is dope. You know,
Yeah.
I just want to get more material things. You know,
Uh,
that's it.
yeah. 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 I can relate to that, man. You know, like the next child me and my wife have, we're hoping for a girl. You know, we are. You know, like, you know, I heard I forgot who I heard this from, but it was a story they told about this guy when his daughter was, you know, she's growing up like teenager. What he did was he took his daughter out on a date. He did everything. Like he literally like went outside the house, like pulled the car up, knock on the door. She comes down. He greets her. He walks her to the car, open the door, close the door, get in, da, 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 go to the
That's
restaurant.
beautiful.
He did everything like it's an actual date, you know. And he was very polite. He was a gentleman. Took her back home and everything. And then he had to talk to her and said, "Look, now you know exactly how you should be treated by a man. Now you know what to look for in a man, you know." And something that I know and was definitely not true about me for many years was that being a male didn't make me a man. It didn't, you know. And but I learned how to become a man, you know, and be responsible, being able to take responsibility. You know, it's amazing. All these things is the direct result of recovery. You know what I mean? It's
Man, for
crazy.
sure,
You know,
for sure,
it's awesome.
for sure.
Okay, next question, bro, is what do you do to maintain your sobriety?
For me, I just donate my fellow hours to like people who suffer just like me. Like I said earlier,
Hmm.
um, I'm in a relationship, so kind of like with my girl a lot of the time. I have a membership at Planet Fitness. I'm working on my quads this week. Uh, it's just I have things to do, man. I'm a student at Fullerton College. I'm enrolled. So I'm just trying to better myself. So that's how I maintain my sobriety. I
Yeah.
stay busy, and when I'm not busy, I'm never bored because when I'm bored, I'm unsatisfied or I'm ungrateful.
Uh-huh,
Like
uh-huh.
I don't want to get like that. Everything's gonna happen when it's gonna happen. I
Right.
don't want to like try to play God anymore.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
that's how I maintain my sobriety, dude. Just I have a lot of stuff going on, man. A lot of people want to communicate with me
Hmm.
and want to be around me because I've recovered, and it's not just that I've recovered, it's an ongoing process, it's an everyday thing,
Yeah.
recovery in the dictionary is just the process of getting better than, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
Better
right,
than
bro.
what you were, so yeah, that's how I maintain.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, like I know being of service is a big one for everybody that I know that identifies as an alcoholic or drug addict. Anybody in recovery that I know, all of them have said the same thing. And the reason for that, we talked about it in the beginning, was this disease of addiction stems from us being selfish and self-centered. So the solution for that is, okay, let me not think about me because I'm the problem. Let me put my focus on others. Let me put my focus on others. Let's get out of the problem and get into the solution, kind of thing. Yeah, and I love that, man. And it's funny, like I learned that concept before I got sober. I learned it in business technically because I had like a bunch of people under me. I had to like I had to lead them basically, and whenever they're down, appointments canceled, I would have to call them, encourage them, and things like that. But like I hated doing that because I could only think about me. Like I try to come off genuine, and I kind of faked it for a few people for sure. Um, but whenever I hung up the phone, like in recovery, when I was having a bad day or something happened, or my emotions was started rising. Um, I would call my sponsor. 9 times out of 10, he would always answer the phone. If he was in a meeting or something, he doesn't answer. He'll call me back. But if I couldn't get a hold of him, was one of my brothers in recovery. I built so much relationships in the beginning. I surrounded myself with sober people. I did everything with them. They talk about stay in the middle of the herd. Because when you're out here, you can get picked off real easy. You know what I mean? Lone wolf over here. And also, when you're in the middle of the herd, it's hard to fall off the cliff when you're in the middle you know and I did all these things, man, and I continue to do them too, actually. I mean, just working in treatment in this field. Technically, I don't count it as part of my personal program of recovery. That's like saying I'm a doctor and I count that as my personal program. No, it doesn't. No, I could be working at Walmart, and no, it's the same thing, the way I think about it. But being thoughtful of other people is so important and crucial, specifically to my own personal recovery. And I get to practice that every day with my wife, man, and my son.
For
So,
sure.
all right, okay. So let's see. Next question is, what's your favorite thing about being sober?
Excuse me. One more time.
Hmm. Oh,
One
what's
more
your
time.
favorite? What's your favorite thing about being sober?
Um, I would say the clarity. You
Mm.
feel me? Um, I already have a charisma about myself.
Uh huh.
I already have like a type of finesse about how I move and like just a type of way that I step. You know what I
Uh
mean?
huh.
But like when I'm sober, like I'm like super militant, but I'm also considerate. You feel me?
Uh huh.
Um,
Yeah.
like that's just where I want to be at as a man.
Mhm.
Because I have to be militant for my girls.
Right.
Like I have to, but I also have to be considerate for my girls too.
Mhm.
Like when it comes to like just becoming a better person, I can't give enough credit to God because everything and everyone that I would get to experience, God put in my life and He put in front of me. Um, I'm not possessive, and like I look at my relationship relationships with other people as God's relationships.
Right.
I
That's
treat my
important.
girl as if she's God's child,
Hmm.
because she is,
Right.
it's not my property, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just try to do God's will. I used to sit around and, say, "Oh, thy will be done, thy will be done,"
Hmm.
but I had to turn it into, "May I do thy will always,"
Uh-huh.
Like,
Yeah.
because I'm just not that person that just waits around for God to happen. God is happening all the time, every
Hmm.
second. You know what I mean? Everywhere. For me personally. So yeah, I just do His will.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's my favorite thing about sobriety, dude. Being a man of God.
Hmm.
Um, people could talk shit about anybody, but you can't fuck with God.
Yeah, bro, I agree with you on that, bro.
Sure.
You said something about, how, like basically we're all children of God. Like, like my wife is, I am, and other people and stuff. So me and my wife, we had, it was a while ago. We used to kind of, whenever we used to be kind of like short with each other or something like that, we always would remind each other of, oh, you better watch out, about my father-in-law. We're talking about God. What I mean? Yeah, yeah, it's so funny. Yeah, yeah. Hey, your father-in-law can hear you. Your father-in-law can hear you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we joke about that, bro. You know,
Something like that.
um, and I remember early on when something that I had to practice, something that I wasn't used to, was telling the truth. So honesty, willingness, open-mindedness, those three essentials for recovery.
Honestly, it's
I
key,
started,
bro.
yeah, I started practicing it, and to be honest, it felt weird telling the truth. It did. It felt weird because I lied habitually for so many years, to all of a sudden like go and then turn around and go back this way, kind of thing. And but after a while, it just became a way of life, telling the truth and being honest. Okay, good. Just for all these people that say, "Oh, you never lied since you've been sober," you're absolutely right. I have lied, but it's no longer a way of life. Like that's the point that I'm making. It happens very. It does like doesn't happen often that I lie,
Yeah.
that I have lied. Basically, I used to lie all the time before, and people would ask me the same question I asked you. People, like the thought, like I didn't even gotta think about it. When somebody asked me, "What's your favorite thing about being sober?" Telling the truth. That's my favorite thing about being sober. I'm no longer constitutionally incapable of being honest with myself. Because of that, I can be honest with anybody, like no problem. You know what I mean? I gave all my secrets away already.
For sure. For
Yeah.
sure.
Mm. Um, okay, bro. This is actually the last question, and then we'll wrap this up. What would you say, Terry, to the newcomer or somebody that's still struggling, to encourage them?
Um, I would say that like drugs and alcohol, they weren't my problem. They were
Mm.
my solution.
Oh.
So like that's why I came to NA and AA. I wasn't trying to like learn how to stop using drugs or alcohol. I was just trying to learn how to be a better uncle, brother, cousin, nephew,
Uh,
father. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like for some people it's different. I lived a grimy dog eat, you know what I mean, dog world. A very, very malicious type of lifestyle,
Hmm.
and I have to admit to myself that I have been exposed to a war zone.
Hmm.
I have been exposed to all types of ammunition, firearms, all types of just sticky situations, dude. Like, but the change came when I admitted everything. You know,
Hmm.
like I love to tell people this, dude. Like a self appraisal is not enough. You
Yeah.
know, once you look at yourself, cool. But it takes a person to really be able to have someone else look at them and tell them what they feel is, holding them back, and to be able to accept it and not take it personal, but use it as motivation and look at a person trying to help them.
Yeah.
That's what it takes. So I would just tell a newcomer like not to take shit personal. You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah.
real talk. You're gonna
Oh
hear a
yeah.
lot in this room.
Absolutely, man. Because like usually when especially like thinking about myself when I was new, and somebody told me something that, especially when it was true, we can get so easily offended, and we take things
Yeah.
personal, and especially when it's true, and it's something that I've learned on this journey of mine, was that you know, typically I was offended, when we become offended or something like that, we automatically we go on the defense. And once we go on the defense, we stop listening. Our ears is closed. We cannot learn nothing. Especially when I'm doing this, when I'm doing all the talking, I ain't learning nothing, you know, kind of thing. Um, but you talked about, you know, admitting, you know, that's kind of when your life changes. And to be honest, you know, that happened for me too. Like, I came to the conclusion from everything I was learning that in order for me to get the victory, I had to admit defeat. I had to complete defeat. If I, you know, if I still hang on to old ideas or got these lurking notions that someday I will be able to drink like other people or use like other people or something, you know, that delusion was smashed long time ago for me. I know for a fact it's the truth. I can never safely use drugs and alcohol again. I never can. And I preferred it that way, to be honest, today. Back then, I was like, man, just teach me how to drink and use without no consequences. I want to do that. But unfortunately, it don't work like that. You know, it just does not. But again, acceptance. I've come to accept that. That's not how it works. I accept that, boom, and I move on. And you know, I'm not trying to fit about it anymore, like how I used to, you know. Yeah. But yeah, bro, that pretty much wraps it up, man. Thank you so much, you know, for being here, for taking the time, all this time you shared here, you know, you'll never get it back, bro. And so I appreciate you, you know, doing that, you know, because I'm going to post this as well. People can always go back later and watch it. And you could say something that boom, the light bulb goes on and, you know, bam, you know, be of service, man. Yes. Yeah.
And basically, man, grow up or die.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, thank you so much, bro. I'll be in touch with you.
All right, bro.
Okay,
I'm
man.
going.
Hey, nice hat, by the way.
Hey, man. Hey, man.
All right, brother. Have a good
All right,
day.
bro.
Okay, guys, that's Terry's story. If you guys got a story to tell, I'm filling up my calendar for the rest of July. Also, I mentioned in the beginning, I'm doing panels, in-person panels, going into treatment centers, doing panels. I have one lockdown for Fridays. And if you guys are in the Inland Empire area, it's in Riverside, Orange County, or even LA, you guys want to be of service, you guys want to tell your story, please reach out to me and we can make that happen. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Have a great 4th of July weekend. Stay safe and stay sober. See you guys next week.